Well, it was a big win for us to try to even the series after what happened last night. And, Jack got us off to a great start with the way that he pitched and competed, kept us in the game. And then Clark Schmidt came in and got a big couple outs for us, a big, huge double play there with the bases loaded. And then Widener was fabulous at the end of the game, 5 strikeouts and 2 innings. It was as good a fastball as I've seen him have since he's been here. And it was much needed. Clemson is a very good offensive team, as we saw last night, and we held them at bay a little bit today, and then got out of some big jams to help us win the game. And it's good to get back on the bus and head back to Columbia, and series is even, and we'll get to play at our home stadium tomorrow, and hopefully we'll play well.
Questions?
Coach, what was the message to your team after last night? They certainly came out with some fire today.
Well, I told them after the game I was a little bit disappointed in them. The conditions are very tough, too, to hit. I mean, it's cold. There's shadows all over the place. It was difficult, but I didn't think 4 runs would stand, really. I didn't feel that good, and I don't know if we had a hit after the 3rd inning. It seemed like we didn't. But it was enough. And the message was simple. In this rivalry, if teams are so evenly matched, one team's going to punch, you got to punch back. And I think I have the right kind of kids that'll bounce back the right way. I told them, I said, the message was, I don't win, lose, or draw. Let's try to compete a little bit better than we did last night and be a little bit more aggressive than we were last night and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, you guys got 13 strikeouts on the mound today and kept the ball in the infield, too. I mean, was that key, especially in the later innings when Clemson got leadoff guys on, load the bases?
Well, yeah, it's always key to try to keep the ball on the ground. Our infield, we have such a good infield, I think I always feel glad about a ball hit on the ground.
And Jack, for you guys just both working, you worked out of trouble, and then Clark came in relief and worked out of trouble. How big was it that you guys could, base loaded twice and escape no run?
Yeah, that was awesome. Clark did an awesome job coming in and picking me up, and defense played great all game, and that's what we're trying to do as a staff, is just have them hit it on the ground, let our defense work behind us, and I thought they did a great job today.
Jack, did you feel pretty good once you got that lead in the 2nd inning? Did you feel pretty good about the way things might
Me?
for you?
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, they're a good offensive team, so you can never feel too comfortable with those guys. Felt like we did a good job battling consistently all day.
Jack, the Clemson players said that you seemed like you mixed up your pattern a little bit around the 3rd inning or so. Do you agree with that assessment, and is that a conscious part of the plan here?
Yeah, sometimes you got to reverse the pattern, especially against a good team like that. So they're not sitting on the right pitch, and I feel like we did a good job of that today.
Jack, what was it about that, I guess it was the 2nd inning when you scored the runs? What did you see your guys doing to get it going offensively?
Yeah, we swung. I was disappointed the way, not the offensive output from last night, but we took so many pitches. And we got aggressive there in the 2nd and 3rd inning, and Clemson was aggressive last night. And, heck, they swung the bats today. Our pitchers just made some good pitches. Jack's curveball, as many of you guys have seen him pitch, is much improved. His curveball is now an out pitch, whereas his first 2 years here, it probably was just a show pitch. And, you got to see his good curveball today. But, we just swung, put some hits together, got some momentum in our dugout, and, stacked some good at-bats on top of each other. And but we didn't do much after that. It was we got to get more consistent offensively if we want to be the team that we want to be.
You guys go back to Columbia, true rubber game for you, Jack, you, Chad. What's that like? It's such a great rivalry to have.
Well, it's a great opportunity playing at home, in front of our fans, and it's trying to win a series. But we want to win it in the worst way. But win, lose, or draw tomorrow is not going to make or break our season. And I'm not going to put all this type of pressure on our players. Say, hey, we have to win. No, we don't have to win tomorrow. Clemson beat us 19-6 in 2010 to win the series, and we won the national championship. So let's. It's a great one-game series, and we get to play it at home, and our players should be comfortable and confident, and I hope we'll play that way.
You start Reagan tomorrow?
We'll start Reagan. Yeah, there's a chance I might talk to Coach Myers. Fiore could throw a little bit, as well as a couple other guys, but we're leaning toward Reagan.
And is Taylor good for tomorrow?
Yeah, Taylor's got a loose. He saw that. He's got a wet noodle. That thing can throw every day. But we did put him in the game. He's from Aiken. All he does is want to pitch. He's mad at me for taking the bat out of his hand. We'll be careful with Taylor. All seriousness, throwing 2 innings this early, and it was cold out there. He'll get his arm up tomorrow and see how he feels, and maybe he can get an out or 2 for us.
Coach, the decision to go to Clark in that situation, pretty key spot. I think it was in the middle of that bat.
2-2 count.
Can you kind of take us through the largest?
Well, actually, I will give some credit to Mississippi State on that deal. We watched them do that from time to time, and Clark's got a really good breaking ball, and it's tough on a hitter who's fighting, for his life, so to speak, and then all of a sudden you bring in a pitcher with a good breaking ball, and he hadn't seen it yet. And we felt like it was to our advantage to put him in that count. He wouldn't have to be so fine. And lo and behold, he threw a breaking ball in there. It wasn't down in the dirt like we wanted it, and we couldn't make a play at third. But then he got the big 6-4-3 double play, and our infielders played great behind Jack and Taylor and Clark there. And but that was the thinking. That was the thought process. We'll do that going forward too. We're going to have to mix and match as best we can to get the ball to Widener, and because our starters can't go 7-8 innings every game.